I never really watched Nickelodeon, and I feel like because the guy from Dragon Ball Z just died, I never watched Dragon Ball Z, so I always felt left out. And just to hear all this shit on the show about
some of it, like, because we did a whole episode talking about Jeanette McCurdy's book, and she talked about some of the stuff that was in there.
Yeah.
So some of it, like, I had heard already. Like Dan Schneider not being allowed around children towards the end,
Christ.
and having to give notes from his office where he had just a direct monitor feed because he couldn't be around minors anymore at that point.
Yeah. Are you aware of this?
Yeah, I'm aware of it. Yeah. I've
like
heard the news.
I thought you said your name was Kurt. Good Burger. Sorry.
Well, see, I was telling JD, like.
Oh, they're in
like
that.
With Good Burger, it's going to be hard for me to watch Good Burger because Dan Schneider was the manager of the Good Burger.
Yeah. And the other guy was in it too.
And then the other guy, the guy who orders a Good Burger with nothing on it, and it's like, that's what I gave you. And he's like, no, you gave me a bun. Just a bun. Yeah, you said you wanted nothing on it.
I didn't know
that guy is Brian Peck, who's the dude who diddled Drake Josh and went to jail for 16 months.
And the whole time we think Mondo Burger was the villains. The whole time it was the manager and the guy. Damn. There's 3 villains in Good Burger there now.
I never saw Good Burger, so I know.
There is another documentary that came
Corey about
out
to quit the show, JD.
a few years before. I think it's called like Nickelodeon, The Slime Years or something like that.
Yes.
And I wanted to see that. I haven't seen it yet. And I kind of want to watch that first before the heavy burden of like the messed up undertones of the other documentary. Or maybe I'll watch the current documentary first and then watch the older one just to have a palate.
Is that Slime Years one? Is that one like it's not exposing shit?
No, it's basically all about like who created the
Yeah, it's
channel.
like the origin of Nickelodeon when it was for kids by kids, and it was kind of like you said you haven't seen it. I watched. It was really good because they talked about like making Hey Dude and Double Dare and Pete and Clarissa Explains It All, and how it was like the Wild Wild West because they were just making it up as they went. They never did live action before, so they were just figuring stuff out as they went. I was telling JD about this. Keenan was on some talk show. I don't watch talk shows, so I just saw the clip on YouTube. He was talking about a bunch of stuff, right? But they asked him about the quiet on set thing. He said he hadn't watched it because for him it's very like personal, like that was his childhood, and like. From what he said, like, you know, Dan Schneider wasn't really involved with Keenan and Kel, so he didn't have none of the experiences other people did. He did kind of bring up there where he was like, you know, she mentioned, the talk show host mentioned how, like, you know, Nickelodeon put out a statement that they, you know, they investigate, you know, all acts of misconduct, and Keenan was just like, well, investigate more, because this is supposed to be like a safe space for children, and to find out stuff like this is going on, it's kind of like, how dare you? So...
Yeah, it's also like right now there were people mentioned, like with the whole Drake Bell thing, there was actors mentioned that were that wrote letters in support of the guy that was
which is like what Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis did for the other guy. And everyone gave them shit for it.
This is a little different, and I'm not saying we
talked about this.
It's a little different because you know this happened 2001, 2002, and it was James Marsden, the guy that plays the Cyclops in the first X-Men.
It was like the mom on Growing Pains.
Yeah, Will Friedle.
Will Friedle and Ryder Strong from Boy Meets World.
And Sean from Boy Meets World. And but then I listened to the podcast they did about that where they were like, hey, this was our homie, we didn't know.
Like Will Friedle.
You couldn't just Google, like, you know. So they were also young, and this guy's like, hey, I didn't do it. Can you write a letter to the judge?
And Will Friedle on the Pod Meets World podcast was saying how, like, you know, we wrote these letters. We're sitting in the courtroom. We didn't know what actually happened until we were sitting in the courtroom. So what he told us happened is not what actually happened.
He basically they all got finessed to write a letter in support of the dude, and the dude only got like what, 6 months?
He got 16 months for 11 felony counts of sex with a minor, or sexual acts with a minor, and then he got out of jail and immediately got a job at Disney Channel.
That's white privilege. When you got rich and powerful Hollywood people.
Now he got charged. But the verdicts, he actually, they gave him guilty on all those counts?
Yeah, he was found guilty on 11 felony counts of sex acts with a minor. He had to register as a sex offender.
He should have been under the jail.
And then he went to go work in Disney for...
he got a job at Disney Channel after he got out of jail.
And then he was working on Zack and Cody's Sweet Life. So
He should have been.
it's one of those things that like
If the whole point of prison is, well, not the whole point, but one of the points of prison is, in theory, to keep those of us who are, moral and upstanding away from those who most likely will recommit again, regardless of whatever. And when somebody's been committed to that many counts, there's there's obviously a pattern and a habit there. And to my knowledge, there's no psychological treatment that they can be given to like curb that.
like psychopathy.
So
you said.
so I'm like, lock them up and throw away the key in order to protect these children. That's incredibly disturbing on so many levels.
What's even more disturbing is I can look it up and send it to you guys if you guys want to follow up on this, because I don't remember all the details, but they were trying to pass a bill to increase the punishment for like child molestation and pedophilia and stuff, because right now it's like a slap on the wrist, and they were trying to make it like a super felony where it's like life in jail. And I don't remember which senator, but it was some Democratic senator blocked it because they were like, it's fine, don't worry about it. The punishment that's already there is harsh enough.
Yeah, I the way you just turned it into a Democratic,
Well,
like it's not both sides.
Well, because
Yeah,
to me,
come
the
on.
whole idea that how can you defend that, and how
No,
can
I
you
hear
say,
you.
no,
Yeah,
it's fine, we shouldn't
Yeah.
make it worse. Like, fuck pedophiles should not be a controversial statement.
No, not at all. It's just how you turn that political, Like,
yeah.
what the fuck, Phil? It's like, that's
It was
always
like it was like
it's
some
always a
senator
story
didn't
with you.
pass. Like, if you said some senator wouldn't pass it
Yeah.
and stuff
Was-
like that, and
was
that's
it
like
a-
terrible. If you didn't
can
mention
look-
Democrats,
There's
Was it a
many
Senate?
examples
What
of
is
the
it, a
South and Republican.
Was it a
guys.
senator or like a House of Representatives?
I
guy?
don't
He did,
remember, because
yeah.
it's been like a year since I read the article, so I got to go
so
back.
it could have
and
been a
find
House representative. It wasn't a Democrat. It was somebody.
Could have been an independent.
I'm just,
Exactly.
I agree with
Exactly.
the whole like sentiment of,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
let's cut off their thumbs,
Lord,
something like
something.
But no, but it is crazy to all this stuff's happened, and like the guy Taron Killam, who's on SNL, got mentioned. He's one of the ones I wrote. And if you go to his IG, the fucking comment section, it's like they blocked it already, but it's like, how could you support that guy? And all those actors that got mentioned, if you go on their IG, the people that just watched it are flooding the comments.
So
with,
here's where like personal bias kind of comes in. When they were going down the list of people who wrote character witness letters, they got to Jason Marsden or James Marsden. I was like, oh man, fuck Cyclops. How could he defend this person? And then they mentioned Ryder Strong and Will Friedle, and I was like, well, hold on, there must be more to the story here. Sean and Eric would not do such a thing. Hold on, I feel like I know these guys.
Let's not jump to conclusions. It is, I mean, I'm not saying names, but it is a trip as to like where you can find out someone did some horrible shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, God damn, like I was not aware.
And
It just
rest
happened
assured-
I got to get what you were saying. Bro. I was like, what are you talking about? Why are you looking at me?
It just
But
happened recently.
This happened recently. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
And rest assured, like, if I knew someone was in some sort of law proceedings, and I could honestly tell you that from my point of view, I don't believe this person was capable of this crime, or, you know what I mean? Of course I'm going to sign up and be a character witness for you. You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't think this person was.
It is tricky though. It is tricky.
And like, it depends on how close I am. If I'm really like, if I've known this person a long time and it comes as a shock, I'm probably gonna be the first to be like, no, this is a stand-up individual, blah blah blah. I'm gonna be shocked, because when you're close to somebody, your emotions can outride your logical thinking of, well, let's see all the facts come in.
If you like that clip, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. We release new episodes every Monday at 6 a.m.
There we go, man. That's what we talking about.
That was hard.
That was good. That was good. That was good.